Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're going to talk about hotels. We've all been to a hotel at some point in our lives, and the experience can vary greatly. From a luxury hotel that caters to your every need to a roach-infested Motel 6. There's a nice little spectrum out there. Regardless of what you're able to afford, going to a hotel can be a bit of a gamble. Sometimes they're dirty, sometimes the buildings are run down, and oftentimes there's a slight feeling of danger. I'm guessing from crackheads or maybe weird neighbors next door. What's that in the room next door? Apparently, hotel room break-ins have become surprisingly common. And by that, I mean, I feel like that's always been a thing. Right? So much so that there's an entire genre of video focused on giving tips on how to use household objects to lock hotel doors from unwanted guests or staff members, using things like hangers, towels, and forks to basically block the door. People even buy additional portable locks and alarms online to ensure their safety when staying overnight. You might think that doing this 20-minute long setup to lock your door or whatever while you're sleeping might seem outrageous, but at the same time, you don't want to be that one statistic. So let's look at just how bizarre and terrifying the world of hotels can be. Over time, we've seen a large increase in sexual predators going after women in hotel rooms. Really came swinging again with this one, dude. Jesus Christ. Can't ease into it at all? Holy I thought we might start with like petty theft, but nope. Here we go. While creeps preying on innocent women have been a tale as old as time itself, more people have felt comfortable coming forward to share their stories. One woman from Austin, Texas recounts the night she had awoken to a man who had somehow gotten access to her hotel key. As he was attempting to open the door, the woman noticed his finger prying through the door, trying to undo the latch. The woman screamed and charged at the door and slammed it shut, yelling, "Get the f out!" The man screamed, "Ah!" and quickly scurried off. She quickly called 911, but soon realized that the man's severed fingers were still in the door latch when the police arrived, which is awesome. Yeah. I would put him in a fucking jar. If I was that woman, I would pickle those fingers 100%. And it goes without saying that more often than not, the source of most disturbances and strange occurrences are the hotel guests themselves. For example, one man was arrested for gooning in the hotel lobby. In Nashville, such a beautiful musical city, huh? A man named Jonathan Walker had visited a Hilton Garden Inn, and he started using the computer in the hotel's business center, despite not being a hotel guest. He started playing porn on the speakers for a long period of time until hotel workers started to notice. They called the police, who approached him and tried to get his attention. Jonathan refused to stop watching porn, to the point that the police officers had to take him into custody and remove him from the premises. As it turns out, this was a repeat occurrence, and he had already been banned from the hotel previously. He was charged with trespassing. He must have been locked in, dude. He's like, I can't hear you.
I like how he thinks this is like a public library where you can just go in and watch porn.
A public library where you can go and watch porn? Is that what you do?
Well, that's what...
No. It's a public library. What are you talking about? It's like a public library where they just let you watch porn, beat your dick all day, your little dick. Right, guys, a public library. And they can rent Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. Right, guys? What I want to know is when they're like, he did it for a long time. I'm wondering, because they said he was a repeat offender to this hotel. I wonder if they just saw him and they're like, he'll be done in a bit. Who's motherfucker's got to clean that?
It sounds like he was just watching, not actually.
And you better believe, well, I think he was doing some dry rubbing, trying to start a little Indian fire. You know what I mean?
Oh, little pocket pool?
Yeah. Also, too, there's no way they're cleaning those keyboard keys. Just leave it.
They dust them, probably.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, this is not the only story about gooning in a hotel. There's also Florida's serial hotel gooner. That's right, my friends. Serial hotel gooner. In 2019, at Hotel Zamora, Jason Bradley walked into the hotel balcony naked and started masturbating in front of a hotel staff member. That's just not fun. That's a little peekaboo. That's a little Jack in the Box that I don't want to see.
Isn't that sexual harassment?
Yeah, well, it says the guy with the public library thing. How many I get it? When management intervened and told him to stop, Jason ran back to his room and locked the door. Like a little toddler. It's like when your parents try to pick you up from your friend's house and you try to hide and be like, just see if I can stay over again. Except this time it's like a 6'3" naked guy, hard dick, run through the lobby. Police were promptly called and he was arrested shortly after. 3 days later, Jason was again arrested for the same thing. This time at a Hyatt hotel near Clearwater Beach. This time Jason was caught jerking it in a beach house cabana that he didn't pay for. which was the biggest crime there. And that was after 3 women complained about him, so he was hiding there beating for a bit. Took 3 women to come forward and be like, there's a guy in there. And let me tell you, I don't think he paid. When confronted, Jason punched the employees in the face and then ran into the parking garage to hide. Do you think that was the hand he was using to beat his cock?
No, I think he punched with his other hand and kept beating.
So you think that he's beating and punching? That's an alpha. The police were called and Jason was once again swiftly arrested. He now faces multiple counts of lewd exhibition and assault. Just a few months ago, he was also arrested for indecent exposure involving a minor. Just had to put the little cherry on top. And there it is. He's just a guy being a dude. Okay, no, he's a pedophile. All right. Today's video is sponsored by Hungry Root. While you stay busy and productive, let Hungry Root be your personal shopper for groceries. Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. Achieve any and all of your diet and health goals when you use Hungry Root to tailor your orders for items you care about. Plus, Hungry Root has great options for the whole family with healthy groceries like smoothies, kids snacks, sweets, ready-to-eat meals, salad kits, and even supplements. If you're looking for anti-inflammatory, gut-friendly, gluten-free, or dairy-free, all you gotta do is let Hungry Root know, and they will fill in your cart with personalized items that get better with time. Right when you get started, they ask you questions to see what you like to eat and how much you want to spend per week. That way, grocery shopping can be a whole lot simpler and stress-free. And when I'm stuck at my desk, I'll sometimes reach for snacks that I end up regretting later. But Hungry Root has helped me find healthier alternatives to keep stocked in the fridge so I can keep it healthy while I'm working. Hungry Root has over 15,000 recipes to share, so there's something for everyone. Plus, many Hungry Root's recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less. So take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Click the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use code PAPAMeat. That's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com with code PAPAMeat. Thank you, Hungry Root, for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. Some people have reported strange hotel guests sneaking into their hotel rooms in the middle of the night, creating a traumatizing experience. Natalia Taksisi, a model from Thailand, posted a viral TikTok detailing a horrifying experience she had in a Japanese hotel. She had traveled to Japan for a vacation, believing it would be a safe place for a solo trip. Natalsi decided to go to the APA Hotel and Resort in Tokyo, which is a well-known hotel chain. After a long day of sightseeing, she returned to a hotel and laid in bed before noticing a particularly repulsive smell. After some time, she had realized that it was coming from underneath her bed. Natalsi checked under the bed, coming face to face with a pair of eyes staring directly at her. She screamed and leapt off the bed. The Asian man climbed up from under the bed and stared at her for about 3 seconds.
Do you think he was naked?
No, I think he was just a weird, stinky man, little garbage man. At the moment, Natalsi claimed that those seconds felt like my life was over. Suddenly, the man started screaming before turning and sprinting out the room. Ah! Turns around, pulls a Kevin McAllister. The police were contacted where they found a hidden power bank that the man was using for his phone, meaning he had potentially been there for a long... He was there all day, for sure. He was charging his phone, playing like Angry Birds and shit. He's so old game. Due to the lack of CCTV cameras in the hotel, the police claimed that there was little chance of identifying the man, but eventually she was able to get a full refund for her trip. Thank God.
I stayed at a APA hotel.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? I forgot about that.
They're nice. Apparently, we need to fact check this, but apparently the APA hotel is run by a cult leader. So maybe it was the cult member.
Maybe it was a cult member. They're like, go up there and take this battery and let it charge. She'll be up there real soon. Hotel guests have a tendency to do whatever they want in hotel rooms, seeing as they're paying for it. While some will settle for cranking up the AC all night, others treat the place like their own personal trash can. This was the case for Kelly Tedford, the OnlyFans hotel pisser. In New Hampshire, an OnlyFans model named Kelly Tedford was caught destroying a Marriott hotel room with her bodily waste. She had the plan of filming a video for her OnlyFans, Kinky Kelly, in which she would cover the entire room in her own piss. She proceeded to pee all over the bedding, all over the curtains, even pissed on the AC unit, which it's like that's gonna blow it even more in the air. Which granted, the room's gonna smell like piss anyway, so she's like, fuck it. And she even pissed on the hotel Bible. For good measure, she even took a on the floor, which she would later hide in the upper tank of the toilet. A little upper decker. That was that. She's being a little bitch, dude. That's a woman who just needs to be slapped around.
She needs to be shown a thing or two.
All right, we're kidding. She was arrested and charged with criminal mischief. Further investigation showed that she had been doing things like this for years. And in one case, she was arrested for peeing all over grocery store products. Jesus Christ. And a whole new problem with hotel guests emerges when you look at stories revolving around luxurious hotels. Some wealthy guests can be straight up menaces. Some hotel workers have to put up with a very unique type of harassment, like the smear campaign orchestrated by a teenager named Theodore Weintraub. Theodore had been attempting to order a drink at the bar inside of the Mark Hotel, an upscale spot known for its high-profile clientele. He was turned down due to him being 17, attempting to use a fake ID, which caused him to become aggressive. After causing a scene, he was banned from the hotel for disturbing other guests, and he later tried to enter through a dinner reservation with his family, only to be caught and denied entry. He begged them to reconsider, only to flip out since he didn't get his way. And according to the filing, the defendant began accusing the hotel of being anti-Semitic and spitting in people's food until his father calmed him down. Theodore, stop. Stop it, Theodore. Calm down. We're sorry. He usually gets his alcohol and he's fine, but God damn it, Theodore, calm down. There was also reports of hotel staff passing by him on the street near the hotel. Theodore became enraged and started screaming at them. This frustrated him so much that 2 years later, he returned to the hotel only to enact his revenge. He hired multiple protesters to stand outside the hotel and smear their reputations with signs reading, "Mark supports Epstein. Mark denies the Holocaust," and "The Mark spreads disease." Check, check, and check. All the while, Theodore sat inside of his Cadillac parked out front so he could laugh at the scene unfolding. And at one point, hotel guests were physically accosted as well. Theodore made sure to do this during the busiest time when celebrity guests would be staying at the hotel, specifically Drake. At one point, they attempted to physically stop him from re-entering the hotel, causing a crowd of his fans to get into a physical altercation that ended in one protester being punched in the face. In the end, the hotel filed a restraining order against Theodore and barred him from continuing his protest within 150 feet of the property. They're like, so you can do it, but just a little farther down.
Does that even work, though? I feel like they...
Well, first off, if the protesters aren't getting paid, they're going to show up a couple times, but they're going to quickly be like, I can't keep doing this. You know? Also, him sitting in his Cadillac, he's like definitely like a little Nepo baby thing, just chortling, eating snacks. Like, can you pay us more? I can. My dad doesn't give me allowance yet. Other hotel staff members have recounted stories of guests making them incredibly uncomfortable in public forums. One worker tells a story of her creepiest night shift experience. One night shift worker explains that most of the calls they get late at night are from creeps, which just makes sense. People, little gooners going out there being like, "I'm outside, I can smell your panties."
Jeez.
Like a little prank call stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm outside. Whatever. Or just people just being like, "What are you wearing?" I mean, I could see that. Just weird shit.
Also drunk, too, maybe.
Yeah, drunk assholes. I need a place to stay. She received a call at 1 a.m. from a hotel guest, only to find out that he was jerking off over the phone. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Do you think she heard it?
Yeah, dude. The pud? Probably definitely heard the pud was all wet, sound like a big, like, trough of mud.
Do you think he was making little moans?
I was wondering if I could get away. Wake up call. Another staff member recounted the time that a naked man ran into the lobby and started yelling at workers to give him directions to the bathroom. He was given directions only to go the wrong way and end up running into a wedding party. The man began to panic, crying profusely, and he turned back around, leaking all over himself and onto the floor. He had to be escorted out of the building by police, and the wedding event was comped to the hotel for their absurd interruption. How do we know that wasn't orchestrated?
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna do the same thing for my daughter's wedding. When my daughter gets married, I'm gonna be like, "Here's $200. Just shit yourself and run through." Oh, come on, come on! The whole thing is free. $200, and you save how many thousands? Come on now.
Easy to repeat, too, because all you have to be like, the wedding's there, go up to the staff, ask where the bathroom is, go the wrong way.
Easy peasy. The only problem is, your wedding's in a hotel.
Oh, well, they're nice hotels.
Well, it's
The
true.
Hilton
Yeah, but I mean, where'd you get married? The Hilton. Isn't it a typical thing, like just tiny chapels?
or Barnes.
Or barn? I got married on a beach.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
On an Oregon beach.
I want to get married in Scotland on the cliff and have my wife come down on a helicopter.
Some of the most entitled and chaotic guests at a hotel are easily from wedding parties. One front office manager of a hotel describes the most chaotic night of their entire career. 70 rooms were rented by attendees of the wedding, with the bride and bridesmaids infuriating nearby guests during the loud bachelorette party. After receiving 3 noise complaints, they decided to pay a group of kids $20 to run around the hallways in order to distract attention away from them. The next day, the bride and the bridesmaids angrily complained to the front desk worker about the staff telling them to quiet down. They believe that because their event gave them so much business, they deserved special treatment. Later, the worker had to assign guests to very specific rooms, as she was informed that several of the guests had cheated on each other and would have to be far apart. It's a crazy wedding, dude. The Hilton's getting a little wild. The day of the wedding was full of guests screaming at the staff over small inconveniences. In the middle of the chaos, one mother reveals that her child drank too much pool water and ended up throwing up in the elevator. During the wedding reception, police had to be called due to adults buying drinks for the underage children. One of them gotten so drunk that he took his mother's keys, attempted to drive her car, and crashed in the parking lot. Everyone was kicked from the venue, and the party resumed all night in the hotel rooms between arguing with staff who were trying to quiet them down. In the morning, the bride storms into the lobby and tells the front office manager that every single person should be refunded fully. The bride was furious over the fact that the cops are called, stating that they should be allowed to have fun and not be treated like a bunch of dogs. No refund was issued, and the worker threatened to call the cops once more if things continue to escalate. What I would have done is I would have been like, I have this hammer, and I'm gonna drive it through your fucking skull, you and your trashy ass family. You know what? Actually, come here. And I would. I'd kill all of them with a hammer. But I'd let the kids get drunk still. We've talked about some wild hotel guests. Don't let that fool you. Hotel staff members can just as easily be the creepiest and most insane people. Look no further than the infamous story of Poop Gelato. Did I grab your attention? Poop Gelato. Steve White and his wife Jessica had been staying in the Coogee Bay Hotel in Sydney, a popular beachfront tourist destination. While grabbing a drink at one of the pubs on location, they were frustrated to find that the music they were playing overpowered the rugby match that they were trying to enjoy. They also complained that the food, the staff, and the price of their gelato and the other customer. The hotel decided to appease the two of them by sending a large complimentary bowl of gelato to their table. Go ahead, I eat it. Would you like to have some gelato? It's from Italy. Among the various flavors of gelato in the bowl, the bottom seems to be layered with chocolate. Steve took a big bite, only to throw it up and retch over what seemed to be a giant log of shit hidden underneath the gelato. Jessica had already taken a bite as well, becoming violently ill. The hotel tried to offer them $5,000 to look the other way, which was denied. Instead, they took a sample of the feces and went to the police, who confirmed that it was indeed human excrement. Investigation into the poop gelato sampled failed to reveal who the culprit was. To save their reputation, the hotel employees signed contracts that forbid them from talking to the media. Jessica's reputation, however, was slowly ruined over the course of a month. According to her, everywhere I go, I'm now known as the woman who ate the poo. It happens when I'm shopping, when I'm walking down the street, and when I'm on the sideline watching my son at Little Athletics on a Saturday morning. In the end, an undisclosed amount of money was reached in a settlement between the hotel and the Whites. It had to have been like, you think it was at least 6 figures? They offered her 5, she said no, and then they're like, this is hush money. I bet you anything it was like at least 100 grand. I think that she could have probably shut that place down. That's gotta be like bioterrorism, right? Some kind of crazy shit like that. And you got violently ill. I mean, like people would lose their jobs or strip. I mean, like I think that legitimately she probably could have shut that place down.
I was thinking like $1 million. You
think $1 million for some poo? Nah, dude.
Well, the damages too. People call him Poo Lady.
Yeah, reputation. I'm just saying, I think someone would buckle under 100K. You want 100,000? Okay, I'm the poo girl. I'm the poo woman. I'd be that way. In another disgusting display, we also have the Hilton Toe Sucker, which is my favorite story of this entire video. In Nashville, such a beautiful city for music, right? Once again, at a Hilton downtown hotel, a man named Peter Brennan was asleep before the day of a big work conference. He awoke to a man sucking his toes in the dead of night. Peter immediately leaped into the air and started screaming as the man sprinted out the room. This man was David Neal, the manager of the Hilton Hotel, who was working a night shift. David made copies of the guest key in order to break into the room and perform strange acts as a part of this weird, sick fetish. Definitely sexual. Definitely hard doing it the entire time. Must have been a good-looking guy, huh? Had sandals on.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He definitely saw.
You're in room 428. Have a good night. A warrant was put out for his arrest, and he was eventually taken into custody for aggravated burglary. This wasn't his first run-in with the law, as he had previously served prison time due to a slew of crimes. Brennan told reporters that he started going to therapy after the whole ordeal and still does not feel safe in his own home. If there was something like that, that would f me up too. People can probably attest to this. There's got to be viewers that we have that has had someone break into their home or anything while they were there or sleeping. That invasion of privacy and security, dude.
But does it make sense if it's in a hotel? Because that makes sense if someone broke into my house and sucked my toes.
Yeah, but hotels, I mean, that's the same thing. Any place where you are sleeping and you lock the door, I think that follows you. Because then when you go home, you like hear some shit. It's just like the psychological damage to it. I think it fucks you up anywhere. Even if it wasn't your home or your own hotel room, like let's say you were staying at a buddy's house, it would fuck you up forever.
That's what I've been hearing, like rats in my ceiling.
You said that too with why your voice was like broken. That's why I have rats.
I don't think it's rats, but maybe squirrels.
I think that's you having like sleep paralysis and you're just envisioning things. You also get like 1 hour of sleep a night. I'm starting to hear weird things. Little gnomes running around my attic. Some of the scariest things to come out of the hotel experience is not the creepy people or staff members. It's the things people find in their rooms. It's common for people to find human excrement in their rooms. People, there's poo. Get over it. One hotel Marriott guest came out of the shower and pulled a towel from the rack, only to find that there was a baseball with smearing of poo on it. Others have allegedly found hidden cameras placed inside the hotel room, sometimes pointed directly at their toilet. That's the biggest thing. The amount of like hidden cameras I see in like smoke alarms, people put it in like AC vents, all that kind of shit. Also power outlets, like the screw for your power outlet, that can be a camera. There's apparently a wand you can do to like go around a room. Yeah.
There's something people do with tape. I don't know if it's a troll, but they like put tape on windows and they put like a marker through it to see if it's like a see-through mirror too.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I've heard that too with like hotel paintings and because they're like, I've heard that can be like a two-way mirror too.
With a painting?
Yeah, or like a glass frame painting, and it's like, oh, this is just a picture. I've seen some crazy shit, man. Which makes you think when I see the girl who's like, let me lock the door, and she puts like 70 things up to, I'm like, I don't fucking blame you. Also too, you think I want my tiny dick and like my fat shit splayed out in the dark web to be sold? Not really. You know what I mean? If I'm sitting there beating my little monkey cock and then that's put online, that'd fuck me up.
That's true. I guess, some of it's rational.
I think it's all rational. If I walked by and I saw somebody doing that, who am I to be like, paranoid much? And then of course that's when the next day I look at my phone and it just sees me like beat my little dick. I'm like online. I'm like, how did they get that? One hotel worker had even stumbled across a live baby that had been abandoned in the parents' room. I hear that happens all the time. Well, that's the whole thing with dumpster babies too. Toss them out.
Well, I was gonna say, was this a staff member? Did they just leave the baby in?
I'm thinking that it was a guest. The thing too is I think people are f***ed up and they'll rationalize it. Well, like, I mean, he was in a comfortable, warm place.
Also, yeah, they leave it in a hotel room to be like, well, the staff will find it.
Well, they'll find it. Yeah. As if that like makes it okay. Well, someone's gonna stumble on it eventually. We left a bunch of crackers and Pringles on the, I mean, you should be fine.
Have you seen the baby boxes? Cities have a thing where it's like a big, like metal fucking box with a little window. You can put a baby in it, and when you close it, you pull like a string, and it calls the fire department.
What year are you talking about?
This is 2025.
No.
Yeah.
No. There is no way there is a metal delivery box for a child to first off bake in, and then also that you pull a string that calls the fire department. That seems like something in a Buster Keaton film.
It's got AC and a little tablet that the baby, it's like you put a little screen.
That's probably true. And as you would expect, multiple people have had the experience of stumbling across a dead body. In college, I saw a dead body. It's f***ed up. I thought it was a guy sleeping. It's a homeless guy.
Yeah, you told me about that.
It's fucking horrible.
Very scarred. Was it kind of like
No.
Stand By Me?
No, it wasn't as cool as Stand By Me. It was like really sad. Actually, I guess it's Stand By Me. It was pretty sad in that too. I don't know. You sit there and you're like, oh shit. Well, because you think at first it's just like a homeless guy sleeping in this park. You're like, oh damn. And then you like look at it and he was just dead. So we called the cops.
That's my fear. I'm gonna be walking and there's a dead body.
That's my fear. Not snakes. I'm not claustrophobic, but if I see a dead body, that's my biggest fear. That's why I've never been able to go to a funeral. Some people have found bizarre items like kangaroo tail covered in maggots inside of the oven. Another person found tons of raw steaks in their room. And apparently he was being kicked out of the hotel and he started throwing the raw steaks directly at housekeeping staff. But he caught him. Put him in a cooler. But nothing is as strange as what one hotel remodeler found during a job. He looked underneath a piece of furniture to find what looked like a dark human-like figure with large breasts. Just show the photos of that. I don't know what I would do. At first I think it's a real body. I'd be like, oh my God. The man noted that there was old blood left behind on it, and people were convinced that it was some kind of weird makeshift sex doll. When asked how the material felt, he said, I will never forget the crunchy feeling. Sound like picking up like a pile of leaves. much. Some people will bring full weapons into the room only to leave them there. One hotel worker admits that housekeeping completely missed a loaded firearm in a drawer upon cleaning the room. An entirely new family was booked and checked out before anyone realized that the gun was there. In a strange scene, one hotel worker in charge of doing laundry walked into a room to find that a jacuzzi tub was filled to the brim with Jell-O, stained the material so bad that it had to be professionally cleaned and fully taken apart due to it being crammed into the jets. That's like how we couldn't lead with just like the Jell-O jacuzzi. Instead, that's at the end after everyone has clicked off for poop and blood, sex dolls, and dead people. Okay, hotels bring people from all walks of life. Sometimes things can lead to some truly bizarre and crazy encounters. If you're checking into a hotel, just act like a normal fucking person, dude. Don't bother anyone, and perhaps buy some extra locks so nobody bothers you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and good luck out there. Bye-bye.
Have you had any weird hotel stories?
Yes.